Hey, it's Leo the Fixer. Today I'm going to explain to you how to fix your parking tickets so you don't have to pay them ever again. I'm going to focus on private parking tickets and I'll show you how to check if your parking ticket is issued correctly and how to get it cancelled. So, first and foremost, I'll show you on website Parkimate UK how we challenge parking tickets, and then you can see for yourself how to beat them. But on this page, this is our homepage. Actually, it's a new one. So I want to show you first that a lot of people are challenging parking tickets. You can see Apcoa, a PCN was cancelled. She appealed on the 30th of June. UKPC Selena appealed on 29th of May, 28th May, 27th, 23rd, 20. So a lot of people are winning their appeals and getting their parking tickets cancelled. So this is my website. I've done this for more than 5 years. I know all the loopholes, and I'll show you how to check if your parking ticket was issued correctly. Now, the key thing to remember is that my service is obviously a paid service, just to be upfront, no hiding, no filters. We're going to be very transparent, unlike parking companies. But what I'm going to show you is the key things I look for when challenging parking tickets. So every question you answer is going to lead you towards getting that parking ticket cancelled. So the first question is, which type of notice have you received? Was it sent by post? Was it put on the windscreen? Is it a notice to hire? So let's just say, for argument's sake, we're going to say it was sent by post. And do you live in Scotland or Northern Ireland? This is a very, very simple question, but in short, certain laws don't apply in Scotland. So if you click yes, then the system will tell you that there's good news. We'll prepare your appeal because the law says that a vehicle keeper cannot be held liable for a parking ticket issued in Scotland or Northern Ireland. And then we even give you the links to the legislation. But for the argument's sake, we're just going to click no. So here you enter your vehicle registration number, and then here, oops, that's a PCA number. So we're going to see 12345. And then here we're going to say AA11. So that's just basic information. It's on your PCN. And then you upload a copy of your PCN. Now you go to the next section. And after that, you then choose the operator. So we're going to choose one of the first ones. And it says in the name BPA. So just select BPA. To be fair, I should automate this. And then it will ask you, select a reason that explains why your parking charge was issued. So you just have to look at the parking charge reason. Is it because the driver didn't pay for parking or parking expired? Or the driver didn't register for free parking if it's a free stay car park? Or you didn't display a badge or permit? Or you stop where you're not supposed to stop? Just select one of the reasons which closely matches your situation. For now, we're just collecting information. We're trying to help the system write a perfect appeal letter. So then the next question is, does a parking charge clearly state the reason it was issued? Most of the time it should, but if it doesn't, just click no. You see what happens. So have you seen any photo where the vehicle was parked? This is important because private parking is based on contracts. And if there's no evidence of the signage, then you can say, I didn't breach the terms of contract. So you can just answer this question. Very easy. Yes or no. Let's say, for example, yes, I've seen photos where the vehicle was parked. Does the parking charge, the parking sign, or the PCN website mention the word contravention? Now, this again doesn't sound like it makes sense, but if they mention contravention, then it could potentially not be enforceable because contravention means you broke the law, whereas if it's a parking charge, it's a breach of contract. So again, just answer yes or no. Don't even stress. It doesn't matter. If you answer yes, your letter is going to be more technical. And this question here, again, if you select this actually is notice to keeper, but was a notice to keeper sent to you within 14 days of parking? If you say yes, then obviously it will ask you if the notice says specific wording that is required by law, and if you click no, then it's going to put a specific wording on your appeal letter. So does the notice state how long the vehicle was parked? Again, this is because of the contract and everything else relation to enforcement of contracts. You have to state how long the vehicle was parked. So let's say for argument's sake, you click no. And then based on your selection, the system will tell you the recommended answer to use. So in this case, we're going to choose keeper. And did the driver pay for parking or have a permit? Just press yes or no. If you click yes, the system will ask you if you paid for parking, did you pay the correct amount? Did you enter the wrong registration? Did you make a mistake with the registration? That kind of stuff. So just answer one of these questions and you can then attach your evidence. And then, if you have identified some loopholes, then the system will confirm this to you that, we've identified some legal loopholes to get you out of the parking charge. I'll show you which one I selected. And if you're clever and you've done this before, you might know which one it is. But if it's your first time, don't worry, I'll explain. Now, this is a very simple question. Was there a problem with the signage of the car park? You just simply have to say yes or no. If there was a problem, you simply choose one of the options to say there was no sign at the entrance, the text was too small. Just select, if it was too dark, select whatever you think is relevant and attach some photos. And then you click next. And then on here, you can see you just have to enter your details, name and address, and then that is it. So assuming you've completed this assessment, and I'm literally showing you how to charge a parking ticket like a pro in less than 2 minutes. Once you complete this stage, then the system will ask you to enter your details and then you go to payment, etc. But now I'm just going to show you a copy of a letter that we did today. And I'll show you how this letter was, it was very easy to get this parking ticket cancelled because the parking company literally didn't issue it correctly. So I'll show you the legal loopholes we used so that you can understand the options I selected. So if the parking charge doesn't mention the law required to transfer liability to the registered keeper, then we insert this text. So for example, it says if the parking charge doesn't mention for 2012, then the vehicle keeper can refuse to name the driver. So any notice to challenge, if you're the registered keeper, even if it's a notice to driver, always appeal as a registered keeper. And then the second loophole is the notice didn't state the period of parking. There's a legal requirement for the period of parking to be stated, but again, parking companies will get you. So I'll show you how to avoid all the traps that they set. So if the notice doesn't state the period of parking, there's a specific wording that we use that gets the PCN cancelled on that basis. And then after that, we ask for some more evidence, signage, etc. So it's quite a detailed letter. Now, there's a specific way we submit appeals. So for example, if you are appealing as a registered keeper, we'll tell you to use registered keeper based on the selection you made. And then the appeal reasons will tell you exactly what option to select. But usually we say select other if there's possible, or parking was paid, vehicle was stolen, etc. It doesn't really matter. It's just so you don't implicate yourself. And then we'll tell you what to write in your appeal comments. Now, the important thing to understand here is that the parking company at every single stage is trying to get you. They want you to lose, they want you to pay. So let me show you how they trick people on the appeal form. Yes, this doesn't sound too good. This is an appeal form. The expectation here is, normally you say I didn't park incorrectly, or you put some sort of explanation. But the moment you say I on this page, if you are relying on legal loopholes to get your parking ticket cancelled, you have invalidated your own appeal based on the legal loophole. So there's another big issue I've seen is that even when you go to Poplar and you try to do an appeal, they do encourage you to write things in your own words. Now, if you write things in your own words, because you're an honest person, etc., it is going to invalidate your appeal. So, they ask you to say, I will submit an honest appeal which accurately describes my understanding of events. Now, this is going to backfire big time because if you are relying on a legal loophole like this one, the one we about the period of parking, then your appeal will be invalid if you select or you explain things in first person. For example, I parked, I paid, and all this stuff. That legal loophole no longer applies. So what I'm trying to explain is you have to follow our, for example, our step-by-step instructions. Say, for example, when you're completing the popular form, enter the vehicle details, please see attached letter, and then attach the letter we provide you. Don't say anything else. Literally keep it simple. And then it explains what happens with the process and everything else. So if you need to challenge a parking charge notice, this is the way to do it. Not only will you get support and guidance and instructions, but the system will essentially guide you from start to finish on how to challenge your parking ticket. So do this and it will be much, much easier to challenge a parking ticket. You can see how others have challenged them and won before, but otherwise, it's literally super fast, takes 2 minutes, loads of reviews, and it's literally the best, easiest way to challenge a parking ticket. So I'll cover more scenarios and use cases or case studies in a different video, but otherwise for now, it's Leo the Fixer, and I'll look forward to fixing your next problem.